Going on, everybody? I got myself a little project here to work on. New engine for my collection here. So anyway, this was given to me by a guy that I know, and it used to power a water pump. And the story was that it hasn't ran in about 15 years. So when I got it, it didn't have it had good compression, but it didn't have any spark. So what I did a few hours earlier today is I took the flywheel off, and it's got one of these nuts right here, and there's a little, before I get too far, there's a little special way you take that nut off of there. I'll tell you that in a minute. But anyway, it didn't have any spark, so I pulled the flywheel off and I cleaned the points. And I had to clean the points probably about 2 different times because they were pretty corroded. I managed to get it to spark, and like I said, it's got good compression. It was a complete engine when I got it. I got all the parts for it, the gas tank and the air cleaner and all that stuff. I still have to work on the carburetor, get it cleaned up, get the tank cleaned out, and clean out the old oil from the oil bath air cleaner. And as you can see, it's got this large muffler on it. It's a pretty big muffler for this engine. The decals seem to be in good shape. It's got Briggs and Stratton stamped in the blower housing. The motor, I mean, it turns. Feels like it's got compression. I'll probably put my compression gauge on it and see exactly what it's got. But there's this another sticker down there. So according to that sticker, this is a 2 horsepower engine. So anyway, like I was gonna say, with this nut down here, if you have an engine like this, I decoded this engine, and it's a 1959. And I have another one just like this, but it's black. I'll do a future video on it when I get some more time. And that one's a 1961. But this engine right here being a 1959, and that other engine I got in 1961, these nuts are reverse thread. So normally you would take, if you have an engine from 1970 or 75, you would turn the nut or the starter clutch left to loosen it and right to turn it. This is the opposite. You turn this right to loosen it and left to tighten it. So that's a little thing you might want to watch out for if you got one of these engines that you've never worked on before. This right here is my second engine like this that I've had. So it's a nice little project. I'll wait till I get it together, see how it runs. Just wanted to show you guys what I was working on. This little tab here was bent, and I took these head bolts out here to take this off, and I put it in a vise and straightened it out the best that I could. So I got that working pretty good. Don't know if it's actually gonna kill the engine or not, but we'll find out once we get it running. If it runs, I don't know. It should. It's got spark now and compression. So these mount bolt holes here, that bolt there snapped off and it's stuck inside that hole, and I tried heating it up, and I tried using an easy out and drilling it, and it seems that just doesn't want to budge. And the same thing over here on this side, we got another snapped bolt right there. This hole here is clear. Come around to the other side, and this bolt hole right here is clear. So kind of a bummer, but it's not really that big of a deal. I'm not going to actually use this engine for anything. It's just going to go on my shelf with all my other engines, but it's a little bit of a bummer, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, overall the engine's in pretty good shape. Take a look back here, and it's got like a little clutch set up on it. So again, I'll have to wait till I get it running to see how that works. But anyway, just wanted to show you guys what I'm working on. I'll do a startup video with this engine, since it's going to be the first time starting this engine in what I was told 15 years. So anyway, I drained the oil out of it too, and it's a good thing I did, because that oil was black, it was thick, and I don't know if it had sludge in it or if it was just really old oil, but the shit was nasty. So I got that out. I got to get some fresh oil before I try to start it, and then I'll keep you guys posted on how this little project's coming along. But other than those bolt holes down there, so far so good. So I'm gonna end this video here, and I'm gonna clean up this carburetor, get that fuel tank. It's pretty clean, but I just want to clean it up a little better, and then start piecing this thing back together, and probably within the next few days we'll be able to see if this thing will start. So I'll probably make an update video on how the carburetor came out in the gas tank and all that stuff, but until then, thank you for watching.